Experience Pros Radio Show. We will interact with you live on the show, and wanted to give a shout out to listener Robert Johnson, who is also a contributor host here on the broadcast and one of our influencers that we are working with to develop his strategy of influencer development. And Christine, it's kind of cool to hear from him. And we work closely with him. We work closely with you and several others that we mentioned earlier in the program. But in just 2 weeks ago, he stood in front of a group of our friends and members here at Experience Pros and said that he'd been with us for 8 months. Mm-hmm. And in 8 months, he had he just launched 2 weeks ago a second office. He's a counselor, right? Just launched a second office, and his business growth has seen 184% increase in 8 months, which is amazing. And we don't take credit for all of that, but it's one of those things that we like to say that we see the fruit of asking the right questions, putting the right feet forward, having the right strategy. Mm-hmm. And I think that anything, we're talking about becoming an influencer and what that can mean to your company. I think that we're talking about, do you have a strategy? It doesn't matter what you're trying to accomplish. You got to have a strategy for it. You got to have a plan. Am I right?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's so important to know where you're going and what you're doing.
I, on Facebook last night, we had the opportunity to listen to, Bill Walsh last night. And, of course, Angel's been on his national, touring speaking team for the last 6 months. And, Bill made a comment that I thought was worth repeating. It's serendipitously close to what the Cheshire Cat in Alice in Wonderland said. And it was this: if you don't know where you're going, any path will do. Mm-hmm. Right? If you don't have the plan, then it doesn't matter where you end up, because you'll be, there you are. Mm-hmm. Right? But if you have a plan and you want to get somewhere and you want to accomplish something, we're thrilled with the growth of our clients, such as Robert Johnson with a New Outlook Counseling Centers or services, and more to the point with you and yours. But you've had a plan through it all. Answer this: have you had to change your plan along the way?
Absolutely. I think we have a plan, and then, bigger things have another plan. So I think it's good to have a plan. Like, it's so good to have a plan. And then it's also good to keep your mind open and really see, if you're not open to really what the world has for you, I think you miss out on a lot of things. And just being intentional, with your time, I think really can pay off. No matter if you stick to the plan or if it goes off course a little bit, as long as it aligns with really who you are and what's authentically yours.
There's an old adage that says failing to plan is planning to fail. Yeah. Right. But at the same time, that doesn't incorporate the need to adapt and modify as life happens. Mm-hmm. And I've seen so many times where in the course of our career, where Angel and I have had a plan and it's been working great. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, the bottom falls out. We tell the story of back in 2012, where our largest client, and by saying largest, this one client, fed 65% of our entire revenue. Okay. And they decided to turn off that spigot and go in a different direction. And that will happen. Mm-hmm. Right. And we are still friends with them today because we believe in building bridges, not burning them, right? Not barriers. But when that person, that business decided to stop the $260,000 in revenue, we had to go, wow, what do we do now? Mm-hmm. Right. And, it took some real creative adaptation to get back to, and by the way, I was listening to Felicia Jones, and I don't know if you know Felicia, but
love her.
Yeah,
yes.
she's great. She does a morning podcast on Facebook Live, and today she was talking about. She used the phrase "pay to play," and most people who use the phrase "pay to play" use it in derogatory terms as if it is a bad thing. Yeah. Let me tell you something. You can't get through life without paying to play. Okay. Let me give you an example. Try paying or try not paying to play at the grocery store.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
No, you're going to go home.
Go to the gas station and try saying, you know what? I refuse to pay to play. Just try it. Let's see how that works. One of my classic examples of paying to play, which is never derogatory in my vernacular, is college, right?
Oh, yeah.
We pay to play. We pay to learn. Mm-hmm. We pay to practice. We paid everything to play. And Felicia was talking about that today and talking about paying in order to speak on someone else's stage and some of the hard lessons that she had to learn. And she fluctuated in and out of almost walking funny because of the way that she had to learn some hard lessons, but at the same time saying, but those lessons had a value. And it goes right down to, what's your motive? If you are paying to speak to somebody with the intent of making a sale, that's a different motive than if you are paying someone to speak with the intent to earn a credential, right? Yeah. And here at Experience Pros, that's what people pay us. They pay us to get on this platform to earn a credential of nationally syndicated contributor host, right? And in order to do that, they're building their influencer profile.
Yep.
And I just think that, Christine, many times people don't realize that adaptation is the ultimate pay to play.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Because when things don't go the way that you plan or life deals you a curveball, as it does, you got an opportunity, like you say, every problem is an opportunity, right?
Absolutely. It's an opportunity for an upgrade. And really, what do you value? How do you value what you're doing? I think the pay to play is a good reflection of where you put your money. Right. Is a reflection of how you live your life and what you value.
That's right.
So if you value those things, then you're going to make the investments. And I think as business owners, we get a little scared to put value in our business, almost as if it's not going to pay off. Like we have that expectation.
Right. And if you have that expectation, I don't remember who it was that said it, but basically the idea of is whether you are or whether you aren't, there you are. You're right. Yeah. Okay. Christine and I will be back right after these messages at the bottom of the hour news. You are listening to the Experience Pros radio show, home of positive business talk. If you want to know more about exactly how we can take you from where you are to influencer status in a matter of months, check it out.
Revolutionizing the way people treat people in business.